The story begins in the year 1996. A boy named Jesse is on his way to visit his grandmother's house. He's full of excitement because he loves spending time with his grandfather, who is known for being a great hunter. Jesse has grown up listening to his grandfather's thrilling hunting stories, stories that always filled him with wonder and curiosity. As soon as Jesse arrives, the first person he meets is his grandfather. They hug and talk for a while, and then his grandfather invites him to go on a hunting trip. Jesse happily agrees. Together, they head deep into the forest, where his grandfather begins teaching him some special hunting skills. After some time, they spot a deer. His grandfather tells Jesse, "This one is yours, take the shot." Jesse carefully aims at the deer. It looks like a perfect shot, but the deer suddenly runs off. Jesse and his grandfather chase after it. While running through the forest, Jesse notices something strange. There's another animal nearby, but it doesn't look like anything he's ever seen. Curious, Jesse follows it without telling his grandfather. He gets deeper and deeper into the thick forest until he realizes he's all alone. That's when he finds something very unusual, a staircase. Not an old wooden one, but a strange staircase made of stone, standing right in the middle of the forest. It doesn't seem to lead anywhere, but it also doesn't seem to end. Most people would have turned back, but Jesse, being curious and innocent, decides to climb the stairs. Meanwhile, his grandfather is searching for him. He's calling out Jesse's name, but can't find him anywhere. Panic starts to grow in his heart. Back on the stairs, Jesse reaches the top and looks around. The strange animal is there, hiding behind the staircase. It has an odd shape and human-like hands. Jesse screams in shock and runs back down, trying to get away, but it's too late. The creature grabs him. Hearing Jesse scream, his grandfather rushes toward the sound. He finds the staircase, and he too sees the strange creature. Without thinking, he fires several shots at it. The bullets hit, but the creature doesn't fall. Instead, it pulls him toward a glowing red door that appears behind the stairs. In the end, the grandfather is dragged through the red door, just like Jesse, and that's how the story begins, with mystery, fear, and a lot of unanswered questions that make us wonder, what was that creature? Where did the red door lead? And will anyone ever come back? First of all, what was a staircase doing in the middle of such a dense forest? And what exactly did Jesse see that day? Was it really just an animal or something else entirely? Whatever it was, that secret disappeared with him. But don't worry, we'll find the answers to these questions at the end of the story. Now, the story jumps ahead 20 years. We meet two brothers named Josh and Nick. After a long time, they've decided to go trekking with a group of their old college friends. Along the way, they pick up 3 more people, 2 girls and 1 guy, and together they head off on their adventure. They leave their car outside the forest and continue their journey on foot. This is where the real thrill begins. After walking for a while, they come across a strange little hut made of thin wooden sticks. It looks like someone once built it just to survive, but it's clearly been abandoned for a long time. The place feels creepy, like it's hiding something. One of the friends, Jordan, gets a strange feeling just standing near it. He tells the others to keep moving, so they all continue walking deeper into the forest. The group is having fun. Nick is the loud one, always joking and teasing everyone, but no one minds. They're all close friends, and it's just part of the fun. Eventually, one of the girls, Rebecca, gets tired from walking too much. She decides to sit down, rest for a bit, and drink some water. She doesn't notice that her friends have gone far ahead. As she's tying her shoelaces, a girl suddenly appears beside her. Rebecca thinks it might be Jordan at first, but when she looks down, she sees something terrifying. The girl's legs are completely burnt, and when Rebecca slowly looks up at her face, she's horrified. The girl doesn't look human at all. Her face looks like that of a devil. Rebecca is so scared that she jumps up and runs. She runs blindly, trying to escape, but ends up getting lost. Somehow, she finds herself back at the same creepy hut again. Whatever is going on, one thing is clear now. This hut holds a very dark and important secret in this story. When Rebecca reached the hut again, she thought it would be smart to wait there. Maybe her friends would come looking for her and find her soon. But before that could happen, the same scary girl appeared again, this time stepping out of the hut and attacking her. Thankfully, Rebecca reacted quickly. She ran as fast as she could, heart pounding, and luckily she ran straight into her friends. They were relieved to see her, but she was shaken. She immediately told them what she saw. The girl with the burnt legs and the face like a devil. She begged them to believe her, but her friends didn't take it seriously. They told her she was probably just tired from all the walking. The trek had been long and exhausting, and they said maybe she was seeing things because of stress or dehydration. Rebecca tried to explain, but no one truly believed her, so they decided to keep moving. As they walked further into the forest, the sun began to disappear. Darkness started creeping in, much faster than usual. That's how it is in deep forests. Even though it was still early evening, The tall trees blocked out the light. Then, they saw something strange. Out of nowhere, a man appeared. He was wearing a neat two-piece suit, but there was a huge, horrifying hole in the back of his head, as if something had taken his brain out. He just stood there, quietly talking to someone. The group called out to him, but he didn't react. It was like he couldn't even hear them. Standing beside him was a woman holding a baby. When Rebecca saw her, she froze. It was the same girl, the devil-faced girl from the hut. Rebecca panicked and told her friends they had to leave right now, but Josh wanted to help. He walked up and tried to talk to the man. Still, the man didn't respond. Then Josh gently touched his arm, and everything changed. The man suddenly snapped to attention. He turned, stared straight at them, and began shouting. He kept calling the strange woman his wife and warned the group to go away. He said, "Leave now, or something terrible will happen." Then right in front of them, he pulled out a gun and shot himself in the head. But he didn't fall. He just kept standing there, motionless. Then the woman stood up and slowly turned around. She lifted the child she had been holding. What they saw made their blood run cold. It wasn't a normal baby. It looked like a giant insect, shaped like a human child, but clearly not human. The sight was so horrifying that everyone froze in place. Their eyes widened in shock, especially Rebecca's. She realized it wasn't just her imagination anymore. This was real. Everyone screamed and ran, as fast as they could. But where could they go? The forest was too deep. The more they ran, the more lost they became. Still, they had only one goal now, to get out and go home no matter what. But night had almost fully fallen. It was too dark and dangerous to keep moving. So after talking it through, they all agreed to stop. They would camp here for the night, stick together, and leave as soon as the sun came up. One by one, everyone set up their tents and tried to get some sleep. It had been a long, scary day. While they were sleeping, Doug had a strange dream. In the dream, he saw himself being close with Jordan, which confused him. But then, while still half asleep, he felt something move near him. He slowly opened his eyes and realized something strange was happening. Some unknown force or creature was pulling him toward the forest. He also saw that strange baby, the one that looked more like a bug than a human, sitting nearby, crying in a creepy, unnatural way. Doug panicked. He tried to fight back and free himself, but suddenly, out of the darkness, a strange animal, or maybe something not even from this world, attacked him and dragged him away into the forest. As Doug was being taken, he screamed for help. Nick heard his cries and quickly woke up. He shook the others awake. When Jordan checked Doug's tent, he was gone. Everyone became very worried. Where could Doug have gone in the middle of the night? They grabbed their lanterns and split up to look for him. After a little while, Josh found Doug's sleeping bag. It was torn, and there were bloodstains all around it. That's when fear truly hit them. Maybe a wild animal had attacked him. This was a jungle after all. Anything could happen out here. Suddenly, Jordan noticed something even stranger, a strange light shining in the distance. It looked like someone's flashlight or lantern, but it was far too bright and steady, and it seemed to be lighting up the whole forest. But how could that be? There were no electric lights out here. Where was that light coming from? Curious and uneasy, they followed the light, and what they found shocked them. There, standing in the middle of the forest, was a staircase, and on it, 2 light bulbs were glowing. Do you remember now? Yes, it was the same staircase Jesse had found 20 years ago. The one that led to something mysterious, something terrifying. The group stared in disbelief, not just at the staircase, but at the fact that electricity was powering lights on it, deep inside a forest where there were no wires, no poles, and no buildings. Josh was especially curious. He felt drawn to it. Even though his friends begged him not to go near it, he didn't listen. He slowly walked up the steps. At the top, he noticed a red door behind the staircase. He stared at it, thinking, what if Doug was behind it? Then they all heard something. Muffled cries for help coming from inside the door. Without wasting a second, Josh started hitting the door, trying to break it open. Suddenly, the door swung open, and Josh was pulled inside. He fell hard and everything went dark. When Josh fell through the red door, he landed in a huge basement-like place. It was dark, strange, and much bigger than expected. Nick quickly followed him down to help, but as soon as he got there, he heard someone calling for help. It sounded exactly like Doug. Hoping to find him, they both decided to go deeper into the basement. As they explored, they realized it wasn't just any basement. It looked like an old government facility filled with strange machines and equipment. It was way too big and complex to have been built by a regular person in the middle of a forest. While searching, they came across a boy. To their shock, it was Jesse, the same Jesse who had vanished 20 years ago. But there was something even stranger. He hadn't aged at all. Jesse explained that the staircase above wasn't normal. It was actually a portal to another dimension. He had been trapped there for years trying to escape, but every time he found a way out, the path would shift or disappear. He said he had followed a strange creature into the forest that day, one not from Earth, but from another world. His grandfather had followed him in too, but Jesse never saw him again. Now Nick and Josh finally understood. This place wasn't just mysterious, it was otherworldly. The space around them was growing, changing shape, like it was alive. Luckily, Jesse remembered the location of one exit that hadn't moved yet. It might be their only chance to get out. The group quickly started climbing back up, hoping to escape the strange underground place. But just as they reached the top, Josh was grabbed by the demon. It snapped his neck instantly. The others watched in terror as his body was thrown aside. Their fear only grew when they saw the demon trying to break open the gate to come after them. Josh's last warning echoed in Nick's ears. "Run! This place isn't safe." Everyone sprinted through the dark forest, running as far and fast as they could. But in the chaos, Nick slipped and fell into a deep pit. When he woke up, he was surrounded by horror. Severed heads, bones, and human remains were scattered all around him. It was a graveyard of victims. His friends soon found him, and nearby they discovered Doug's dead body. That's when they understood the truth. This place was where the demon fed on humans. They had to escape now, but it was too late. The demon had broken free from the basement and was chasing them. They ran again, hearts pounding, until they spotted an old van hidden in the woods. They all climbed in and slammed the door shut, but Rebecca wasn't fast enough. The demon caught her just before she could get in. With a terrifying grip, it ripped off her head, leaving only her body behind. The others were frozen in horror at the brutal sight. They locked themselves inside the van, shaking and silent. That's when Jesse spoke. He revealed something important. "The demon is blind," he said. "If we stay quiet and don't move, it won't find us." Everyone went completely still. Then Nick, still shaken, asked Jesse, "How long have you been here? Didn't anyone ever try to find you?" Jesse looked down and answered softly, "I went missing on 22nd March 2000. No one ever came." Nick's eyes widened. "Wait," he said. "Today is 12th March 2020. That means you've been trapped here for 20 years. Then something clicked in Nick's memory. He asked Jesse a few questions. "Was your school called St. Mary's? Was your dad a soldier?" Jesse nodded yes. And in that moment, Nick realized the truth. Jesse was the same boy who had gone missing from his class 20 years ago. He remembered his face clearly. The whole school and Jesse's father had searched for him for years, but he was never found. Now at last, Nick had found him, alive but trapped in a nightmare. This proved that the dimension Jesse spoke of was real. Nick could feel it now too. But they couldn't just hide in the van forever. They had to act. Jesse came up with a plan. First, he made noise from the window to lure the demon toward them. As the demon approached, Jordan ran out with a gun and shot at it. The plan was working until the worst happened. Jordan ran out of bullets. With no other option, and the demon closing in, he took his own life to avoid a painful end. Nick was heartbroken. He had already lost his brother, and now one more friend was gone. His grief turned into rage. He wanted to end it once and for all. He opened a gas cylinder inside the van and threw it outside, making a loud hissing sound to attract the demon. As it drew near, Nick lit a flare and threw it toward the gas. Boom! A massive explosion lit up the forest. The demon caught fire, shrieking in pain as it ran back toward the red door. Flames spread, burning the staircase too. The dimension was collapsing. By morning, the police arrived. They found the scattered remains of Nick's friends, but they were stunned when they found Jesse. He hadn't aged a day. When Jesse's mother and grandmother arrived, they were speechless. The boy they lost 20 years ago stood before them, looking exactly the same. Neither Nick nor Jesse ever spoke about what really happened that night. They kept the truth buried. And with that, the story ends. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.